Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And we're kicking off our first virtual meetup. I'm Sean Rock, the CMO of Crypto.com, and we're very excited to have you here today. We hope that everyone is staying safe in the unprecedented environment that we're dealing with today. And over the last few weeks, and looks like we'll be dealing with it for quite some time. That said, we're very excited about the developments of Crypto.com and all the things that we are looking forward to sharing with you today. And really appreciate everybody's time in joining us. We're going to have Mariana, our General Manager of Europe, share with you a presentation that we unfortunately didn't get to give in London because we had to cancel the meetup. And then we'll have Chris and myself help do a Ask Me Anything, a Q&A session, where we've gathered the questions that you've submitted as part of the sign up, and we'll work through that together. And then we'll have a little bit of a live question and answer session. Some of you have already seen that in the Q&A capability of the Zoom webinar, and we'll walk through that. So at this point, really want to give a big shout out and thank you to the community for everyone who's supported us along the way. It's been an extremely long journey, twists and turns, roller coasters, some would say, especially after last week's market action. But our moderators from the early days, our ambassadors, and our community really make a huge difference to our company. And so really like to say thank you. We're hoping that we won't have to do many of these virtual meetups. Our intention was actually to begin to scale these to be more personal meetups. And so hopefully we'll be doing just that very, very soon. So with that, I think we're ready to go on to kind of some of the next steps. So if everybody wants to just get comfortable, we'll be together for about an hour. I guess the premise of what we're talking about today is obviously the backdrop of COVID-19 and the fact that, especially in Europe, it looks extremely scary right now. In Asia, we've dealt with a lot of challenges already and probably still have more to come. And the US is also dealing with it. So very much unprecedented. At the same time, very positive news on our front. We have released cards in the UK. And we'll be talking a bit more about that in our plans for Europe. But to kick things off and kind of get us all in the mood, maybe you want to turn on your speakers. Hopefully this will work for you. We'd like to play a video for you. You may have seen it before. And it seems like we don't have any sound, so I'm not sure what the issue is there. Thank you. Maybe we're going to do a quick shift of screen, so let me just take over for a moment and see if I can drive it from here. Hopefully this will seem relatively seamless, but let's try it again. See if I can get it to play from this side with some sound. Okay. Given that we're having no sound, let's just call that off, huh? That's the brilliance of technology. So the video, if you'd like to see it, is on our YouTube channel. We have it many, many places. What you're seeing is a video that we've produced for the cards, that it has the European card artwork and has frozen on the screen there, even the disclaimer for all cards. So with that, let me shift back. As I mentioned, we'll have, let's get that out of the way. let's pass this back to Mariana so that she can give you a presentation about our roadmap and ecosystem for the future and what we're looking at not only in Europe, but onwards and around the world. So over to Mariana, thank you.
Hey guys, well, as you can see, I'm giving a presentation while I'm self-isolating on the beach here. It's very hard, very difficult to work from the beach, but we're doing our best, and it's as you can see, it's absolutely empty. There is literally no one sharing that fantastic beach with me. So yeah, I had nothing else to do but work really hard together with the Crypto.com team on building our ecosystem. So let's move on with the presentation. As Sean mentioned, that the one that we couldn't give in London because we had to cancel our meetup because we wanted to be socially responsible and actually not, unfortunately, meet you guys face to face. But we're still very happy to have you around here and joining us virtually. So how did we start? Crypto.com, as probably all of you know, started back in 2016, and we had one very simple vision, which was to put cryptocurrency in every wallet. And why do we think that's important? We actually believe in the absolute importance of controlling your money, your data, and identity. And why is that important, guys? Well, you have probably read a lot in the news about the recent Federal Reserve measures, where the government has actually implemented a massive quantity easing of over $700 billion into the economy, and they did this as a measure to prevent the crisis, the economic crisis that was unfortunately brought by COVID-19. However, despite that massive quantitative easing and printing of money, the market still responded very, very negatively. And on the other hand, we see personal data and identity thefts happen way too often. And hackers use the data they harvest in various, very nefarious ways, and always at the expense of the victims, which can very often be us. Not sure if you've read the news, but like a couple of weeks ago, Deutsche Telekom actually suffered a data breach that exposed the personal information of employees. And in 2019, we had a lot of large companies in the likes of WhatsApp and Fortnite and even 7-Eleven who reported security flaws that could have exposed millions of customers' data. That's why we believe that it's actually time for us to deploy Plan B. And those of you who are very lucky to be in London and to reside in London have probably seen our fabulous advertising for Plan B, right? We have them in key tube stations like Oxford Circus, Canary Wharf, Canada Water, Holborn, and in the streets of London. And if you happen to see those ads, please give us a shout out and tweet about it, because we would like to have your pictures added to our portfolio. So how do we build the ecosystem? What we currently are doing is actually building use cases in trading, payments, and finance, and thus being able to address all the traditional financial use cases. We have a range of products that are very much favored by the customers, and we work hard to add new developments further down the road. And as you already know, most of you are probably using the application. You can buy and sell more than 50 coins in our app, or on the exchange, you can spot trade over 30 pairs. And what's coming up next is our non-custodial wallet, which would actually be seamlessly integrated within your application. And you will be able to control your keys and to control your money while still being able to use the application with your non-custodial wallet. And in terms of payments, we have your favorite Visa card. We know how much you guys love that product, and we know how excited you are that we have started shipping to the UK. We have actually worked really hard to expand the geographical coverage of the card, and very soon we will be able to start shipping the card in other European regions too. Then when it comes to other products related to finance, I am sure that you have all seen the Crypto Invest earning credits in our application, and many of you are using them to generate more return on your investments in crypto. And we have more developments in the DeFi area coming very, very soon for you. To start with our favorite product, and I'm sure one of your favorite products, the application, which currently has over 1 million users, and it's probably the best place to buy crypto at the moment because it's a true cost, and you can do that with bank transfer, you can do it with your debit card. You can safely store your crypto in our application because the storage we're using is an institutional grade custody solution, which most of you are very, very familiar with. On the other hand, you can still monitor over 200 plus coins in your app directly and see how the volume moves, which I guess will prove extremely heartbreaking sometimes in this market conditions, or extremely positive depending on your investments. The crypto earn product, which you're all familiar with, allows you to earn up to 8% annual interest on crypto, and you can earn up to 12% annually on stable coins. We currently support 20 currencies in which you can earn deposits, and the interest rate is paid in the cryptocurrency which you have deposited. And what's more, for Crypto.com private users, we add 2% extra on the annual interest. The interest can be paid annually, the interest is paid weekly, and it's based on the annual rate. And you can have flexible deposits, you can have 1 month or 3 months term deposits. Then the Crypto.com credit is another product which we believe is very useful, especially in the cases where you guys are looking to buy more crypto because you believe that the market is going to go up in the near future. So what you can do with crypto credit is you can deposit your cryptocurrencies and you can get a secured loan. In exchange for that, we give you 50% of the currency that you have deposited in either one of the 6 stable coins that you're seeing on your screens over there. And there is no credit check required. You can actually pay an interest as low as 8%, and you can pay back in whatever time you want. It's not time bound. We're not going to chase you for it. It's up to your personal preference. And we are going down to our favorite Visa card, which we hope actually that you're going to soon be able to enjoy on a daily basis. The Mco Visa Card is backed by crypto and is currently the biggest crypto-backed card program globally. As you know, we have started shipping in the UK. We will soon start shipping to the other European countries. We are going to support 30 countries in Europe in total. And the card is currently shipping in 49 states in America and in Singapore and Asia Pacific regions. Your Mco Visa Card allows you to spend crypto anywhere where your Visa card will be accepted, with up to 5% cash back and actually fantastic perks like full rebates of your Netflix subscription and of your Spotify subscription, not to mention the access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. When we speak of Crypto.com Pay, I'm sure that you have all seen the recent announcements of Crypto.com Pay. So it's powered by our own public blockchain, and it presents an alternative to the card scheme networks, which currently actually dominate the merchant payment space. But networks like Visa and MasterCard have to stop working the way they are because they're completely challenged and reinvented by crypto. If you're a merchant and you're using Crypto.com Pay checkout, you will enable your customers to pay for goods and services in cryptocurrencies. And then you can receive settlements either in native cryptocurrencies or in chosen fiat currency. And you can pay up to 0 fees depending on the currency you have chosen for your settlements. On the other hand, if you're an app user, you can use your app to pay online to the merchants who are supported by Crypto.com Pay. And also you can send money to your friends. You can send crypto to your friends and enjoy really robust cashback for that. If you remember, we have launched our exchange in November last year. And we have since been working really hard to build liquidity and to provide the lowest fees and best execution prices. The exchange is powered by the native CRO token that we have, and by staking CRO tokens, users can actually enjoy lower fees when trading. And the exchange is connected to the app, so you can check your exchange balance or you can facilitate transfer of your assets. A very, very important message which we actually want to convey to everybody who is trading on our exchange or using our app is that all the products we're launching are based on the foundation of robust security and compliance. We actually believe we owe it to our users and customers to provide fully secured and compliant products. We are the first cryptocurrency company to get the CCSS Level 3 certificate. This is the cryptocurrency security certificate, and Level 3 is the highest you can get. We are also across all platforms ISO 27001 certified. Not just one part, not just the application, not just the exchange, absolutely everything. And we are PCI DSS Level 1 compliant. And as a matter of fact, GDPR compliant since day one. There is a new product that we have launched recently on our exchange, and it's the crypto staking, the soft staking. So what does it imply? Apart from supporting 11 cryptocurrencies, and there is more to come, the soft staking doesn't require you to lock up any assets. In fact, you can earn up to 5% on all the assets you have on your wallet exchange, even on the ones that are currently in pending orders. And the good news is the interest pays daily, and users who are staking CROs for 6 months are actually enjoying better rates across all currencies. Our favorite syndicate is the project listing platform of Crypto.com exchange, and the retail users who are part of the syndicate will be able to buy the tokens at a rebate, and they will be able to use their tokens to get a loan or to earn interest on their deposits. And to be part of the syndicate, all they have to do is actually subscribe for the exchange and stake CROs. And if you look at both the benefits that we give to the projects and the communities, you can see how this makes the syndicate a very powerful tool that facilitates the mass adoption of crypto. These are a couple of the latest projects that we have listed with the respective trade-offs. So we've got 25% of Bitcoin, 50% of Tezos, which was recently concluded. And now we're about to distribute the Tezos tokens. And those of you who haven't joined the syndicate yet have the opportunity to do that, because in only 11 days, we will be listing Bitcoin Cash at 50% off for all syndicate users. And last but not least, we are very, very blessed to have you guys as part of our strong and supportive community. And we know that you have been backing us through our journey ever since we have started. And we would like you to join us in all social networks where we're present. Just give us a shout out, talk to us. We'd like to keep in touch, and we are very often using social media to do that. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere you can see Crypto.com, and make sure you give us your feedback. And I'm going to take it over to Sean to tell you about something exciting that will happen right after Chris's AMA.
Well, actually, thanks for that, Mariana. I really appreciate that. We're going to give the video one more go, if you guys don't mind. So give me just a quick second, and we'll switch over to my computer, and we'll try one more time, thanks to our team who is figuring out why did it not play the sound. If it doesn't work, we're done. 2 seconds.
Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of card. A metal card, powered by crypto. Every time you spend, you get 3% back instantly. Want more? We've got that too. Paired with a powerful and secure app that lets you manage your digital assets in one place. Have an issue? Connect with a real person 24/7. Don't like fees? Neither do we. Oh, one more thing. How about these perks? The future is here. Reserve yours now.
All right. Hey, it worked this time. Hey, thanks for everybody for your feedback on getting that squared away. Hey,
the best money we've ever had.
second. Need to jump ahead a few slides. So give me just a We're going to talk about the good news, which is, hey, everybody's a winner. We all like to be winners. So you don't have to ask a question or do anything. Just being a participant today will give you a chance to be qualified to win $100 worth of MCO. There will be 5 of you selected from that. So we'll be announced on Twitter and we'll be in touch with you afterwards. Also, we're going to have a referral code. If you're a new person joining Crypto.com and haven't been here before, let's get you that so that you can take a quick peek. I don't know why this is taking so long, but hey, it's technology. Let's just jump through those slides and get to show me the money, Sean. We have a code for anybody who's signing up new. Just 1 second. There we go. So Virtual Meetup 2020, there you go. So use VMU 2020, and I'm sure there's other friends on here willing to share their referral codes. But if you want to get $50 in MCO just for signing up, go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so with that, let's move forward and talk some more. We have a Q&A area on the screen. There's a number of them. In fact, right now, I think we're at 136 questions. I can promise you we're not going to answer them all, but we're right now. But we'll do our very best to cover them. Luckily, we did get quite a number of questions in through the registration process, and we know what the number 1 question is. So with that, let me bring on Chris, and we will do a little talk through on the AMA. So let's ask Chris some questions. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? Are you in San Francisco?
Yeah, as you can see in my background, Golden Gate. No, it's not. I'm in Hong Kong. It's just the game-changing feature of Zoom. By the way, Zoom, guys, I mean, this is amazing. We have almost 700 people right now tuning in, and it kind of works. You could even play our ad. It was a bit laggy, but it's still working. It's incredible technology.
Clearly, I haven't figured out how to get the background to work for me. So sorry, guys. It was working in that demo, but hey, there you go. You know, hey, the CMO can't do it.
No, absolutely. I mean, Sean, you're killing it with your background. So, guys, I think just to kick it off, right? I mean, everybody's obviously concerned about the COVID and the impact on Crypto.com's business. I think we should all just worry about our friends, our own, and our families' personal safety and health at this moment. Crypto.com as a business is doing extremely well. In fact, volatility is generally speaking great for us. Obviously, we prefer if it's in the other direction, right? But even when the market is not doing well, last week was our best week in terms of performance in history of the company. So, and if you look like the last couple of months, we've been breaking records, and we've got continued high growth rates. So if I look at December numbers and February numbers, we've got like 2.5x growth. If you look at March, it's going to be probably 3 or 3.5x just in terms of volume growth, transactions going through the platform. And it's going tremendously well. And when I look around, if I turn on the TV and watch some news or read what's going on around the world, it's obviously all doom and gloom. So it's worth to spend a minute to try to understand why our platform is performing so robustly in this environment. And essentially, there are 3 things to look at. Number 1, we actually can work remotely indefinitely, and it has a very minimal impact on our business. So, Europe right now and the US is just going through the stuff that we've been dealing in late January and early February. In fact, we've made the announcement to our staff that we will be working remotely on January 25th. So we are, a little bit ahead of the rest of the world in terms of this curve. And specifically, Crypto.com was extremely well prepared to make the shift because of the social unrest that was happening in Hong Kong last year. So we actually had the entire company already, ready to flip the switch and go into full remote, and it was just seamless. There's obviously, there are advantages to being able to go to the office and some of the projects are not moving as fast as we wish, but again, we can do it indefinitely and continue to run our business. So that's one important factor. The second and even more important one is that we have no impact of retail, F&B, hospitality, travel companies, hotels, airlines. We don't have any physical world contact that is required for us to conduct our business. All of you guys can just sit on your couch at home and still play with the app, which, by the way, we see in the stats. There's much more activity after this global working from home arrangement than before, and it puts us in a unique position. We've got a global business that runs entirely in the cloud. And last, cryptocurrency in general. I mean, Bitcoin was built for this type of environment, right? I mean, we've got basically helicopter money right now from all central banks, massive quantitative easing, which is debasing everybody. And that is the reason why Bitcoin was created during the 2008-2009 financial crisis, right? So we've got all those three factors coming together. We can work remotely for as long as it is required to keep our team safe. Our customers can safely use our platform, install in the cloud, and cryptocurrency in general has been built for this, right? So for all of you guys who are thinking, how is the platform performing? Just you can relax. We are looking forward to have our first profitable year this year on a group level basis. We are growing very strongly, and the business has never been in better shape. Obviously, when there's a global turmoil like this, you need to be ready for things to happen that you didn't anticipate. But I think we will just, steadily, slowly continue to, improve our product, grow our user base, grow our team, and invest in the areas that matter. I think as a company, we are really perfectly positioned to go through this process, through this market downturn, and emerge on the other side as one of the strongest companies in the industry. I think this should be like a general overview of the situation, and the impact of COVID on what we do.
Awesome.
To end this on a positive note, I really believe that even if you've seen this half price action last week, crypto is going to bounce back fastest and hardest comparing to any other asset class. So I'm still very bullish on crypto. And in terms of the broader environment, I want to give it some perspective. We obviously treat this very seriously, what's happening, and we took the lead, and we make sure that our teams work remotely very early on. We don't take any unnecessary risks. We cancel all non-essential travel, and we encourage everybody to do the same. In fact, I'm happy to see that some of the governments in Europe and in the US are catching up to the right way of doing things. It's much better than a month ago. But things are going to recover faster than everybody expects. I certainly don't think this is the end of the world. I think that collectively we're going to go through this. I think we've got this. And even in Hong Kong right now, you've got everything is functioning. We've had the same stuff as US and Europe, the empty shelves in the markets and general market panic. Things are going back to normal slowly. And I think that 2-3 months later, Europe and US is going to be, some of the confidence is going to come back, and we will manage this, and we will go through this. So I think that's my general view. It's not the end of the world. If anything, it's a buying opportunity.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Chris. I think that overview, a bit of market commentary, company updates, very, very helpful for everyone. So now on, almost need a drum roll for this. The next and first of the questions is obviously the win cards question. we launched in the UK, and the cards are starting to roll out there. But can you give the team an update on terms of what's exactly going on with Europe, and then we'll go into some of the other markets?
Sure, absolutely. So if you look at our card programs for Europe, in anticipation of Brexit, we kind of split those programs into those programs are going to be run from two separate bins, and you've got the GBP bin for the UK and Europe bin for the rest of the European markets. It's the same provider, same setup, but Euro will take slightly longer, and it's a matter of like 2 weeks, roughly, maybe 3 weeks, for us to finish setting it up country by country and then shipping those cards out. My expectation is that we will finish the entire backlog for everybody who ordered card in Europe at some point in April. So it's really close. We're getting there, and I'm very happy that we managed to ship the UK ones first. Now, I think it's important to understand that we have to create these programs on a country-by-country basis. That's how the processing platform that we use works. So we're probably going for the largest markets first, the top 5 in EU, France, Spain, Italy, the usual suspects, and then we gradually will add the smaller markets, but then we should be done with everything in April. So it's really, really close, and we're super happy that we are shipping it out in spite of everything that's going on with the global pandemic and whatnot. And Europe is our largest market, so it's a super important product launch.
Great stuff, great stuff. So kind of just underlining that, the cards in progress, final setups, and looking to get those out in April, ideally completing it all in April. So that would be great. A question related to cards in Europe was also some of the card limits. Any update on the progress there and trying to move some of those things forward?
Yeah, so our focus is on basically shipping it out first, right? But we already submitted the updated limits, the higher limits to Visa Europe, and we're just waiting for approval. Again, it's about prioritization, right? So we are focused on launching it first, and then very quickly we will be pushing for increasing limits. I don't think it's particularly controversial because there are other programs in crypto that already got those higher limits approved. So I don't expect this to take long.
Sounds good. I'm going to need to move relatively quickly. Can you give us an update on Canada?
Yeah, we've got the issuer and it's moving forward nicely. I think if you go to the Visa website, you can already see actually both Canada and Australia. You can see our entities there. And we are going through the approval process with the local Visa offices for both markets.
Great. So that covers Canada, Australia. How about Turkey and Russia? Some developments there?
We don't have anything to share yet on this front, but when we have progress, we will update markets. Both are very important for cryptocurrency and for Crypto.com. But again, we need to secure local issuing partners, banking partners, and in some cases licenses, and then run those projects. So it's going to take a while, but we're working on it.
Sounds good. What happened in Thailand? Can you give the audience an update on that?
Yeah, there was one other company that was running a cryptocurrency program on the same provider as us for Asia Pacific, and they didn't follow the rules. So our issuing partner had to basically kill all the cards going into Thailand. They're in the process of securing a separate license for that market. So once that is in place, we can resume the services there.
So we had not necessarily cards, but we've opened up India so far to the app with the change of regulations there. Was a question about Malaysia as well? Any thoughts?
No, we don't have plans for opening up Malaysia at this moment. Again, it's about local regulation. If if we have any updates on this, we can we can share at a later time. We always try to be compliant with all the local laws. If there's no supportive environment for crypto, we're not planning to barge in. We'll wait for those local regulations to be slightly relaxed. And for India itself, there's no plan for a card product for now. So it's only, the vast utility of the app is still there, but no cards for now.
Gotcha. Question that comes up from time to time about virtual cards. Can you give our position on virtual cards, please?
I think it's a useful feature, but it's a nice to have. So again, we've got an entire ecosystem to build, and we're always very conscious of prioritization. So it doesn't move the needle for the whole company, so it's not on the roadmap at this moment. Gotcha.
We saw Apple, Google, Samsung Pay for the US. How goes it for the other markets?
Apple approved our EU application for Apple Pay, so that should come shortly after we've got the cards out. The Asia Pacific one is still in progress, so we're waiting for the necessary approvals. Again, the precedent has been set already with the US, so it's going to be relatively straightforward, although it may take time.
Gotcha. A question that came in was about cards in South Korea and Japan. I'll take the first part. South Korea, we're already able to provide, but any thoughts on Japan?
Yeah, so anyway, users in South Korea can order the cards now. It works. Japan is one of the most conservative markets in terms of how long it takes to secure local capability to issue the cards and deal with digital assets. I mean, for me, that's clearly a 2021 kind of project.
Gotcha. For those who are on the call and are on the chat asking about different Asian markets, we'll cover them separately. We're not going to go through every single one of them right now. Moving forward onto products, will there be a desktop version of the app, and will be there a mobile version of the exchange? How are we seeing that?
So we're taking it step by step. You can see that the exchange itself is improving with a full responsive design, so you can use it on your mobile right now, and basically all the functionality is getting a responsive version. That's the first step. The second step is going to move the exchange into the app, so you can have your custodial wallet and the exchange in the single app in a slightly refreshed design. So that's our approach. And then once we get this done, this is already a very chunky project. So after we get this one done, then we can go back to the website and look at what kind of features that are currently mobile only can we add to the desktop experience. In the end, you want to have full flexibility to use the products. If you prefer to do this on the desktop, you should be able to on the desktop. And again, it's just a question of hitting the high priority items and shipping them first, and then gradually working through it.
Great. How about now that we're launching in Europe, a lot of questions about localization, new languages?
This is actually a high priority for second quarter, which is starting in 2 weeks' time. So basically, we'll cover all major languages. I'm not sure that you guys are aware, but we've already hired a number of local community managers who will assist in this process. And again, we will start with the app and then the exchange, and everything will be localized. There will be also local community channels in local languages. And we are testing this virtual meetup also at this format to see if it works, and we can run these in local communities. And eventually, after the COVID situation is resolved, we can just run a local meetup. So going local is a very high priority for Q2. It's actually quite a complex project, and it affects our release date. So we're preparing to do this properly, but all of the work has already been done, and you can expect to be able to use our products in your language within the second quarter.
Sounds great. Wondering about thoughts on an app refresh. Anything cooking there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done a lot of design work, and it's coming together nicely. So we are keen to to show it off at some point, either in April or May. And again, it's about making sure that the app looks familiar and feels great, but delivers more value to the user quicker. Right, so it's we hope you like it, and it's coming soon.
Sounds good. How about stable coins? And one of the questions actually asked about a euro stable coin.
Yeah, for this, actually, there's not a stable coin in Europe that has, a large market cap and whatnot. So, not really, no good options for euro stable coins today. I think the most likely scenario is that we will complete our electronic money institution license application. And once we have the license, we can just add euro pairs across the board, or even accept euro, and then we could even create our own stable coin for euro specifically. I think that will be the most conservative and best approach for us to provide this type of value for our users. I don't see a quick way of doing it here.
Gotcha. A couple questions on crypto earn. One, which is regarding the rates. Are we going to be decreasing rates for stable coins? And then second of all, will we be able to reduce the minimum deposit for crypto earn?
So it's actually a very good question. We need to observe how does the market behave. And there's certainly, if you look at it at the broader financial services space, right? There is no longer any cost of opportunity for people to move from dollars to stable coins and put them into products like Earn, right? So we will see how much of the money is moving from the traditional like equity markets into this type of thing. And if there's too much demand, then we will have to reduce the rates. But so far, it's okay. We don't have any immediate plans to cut it. And we'll see how this evolves. It's always defined by supply and demand.
You bet. On the other side, crypto credit, especially what we saw just recently, questions with regards to would we be able to clear out or pay off the loan with the collateral? Is that something that we're looking to develop?
Yeah, it's actually, we looked into it. It's actually quite a complex feature to build, right? So we will release it at some point in time, but definitely not in Q2 because the roadmap is fully packed. So I think for the time being, the easiest way to do it is to just manage the collateral health a little bit more manually and pay attention to it. But the repayment with collateral maybe it's at a later stage this year. It's definitely a useful feature and a nice to have. But it's again the return on developer time invested is just not there for us today. Gotcha.
One of the most eagerly anticipated, the 3rd of January, Your Keys, Your Crypto. What's the latest on the non-custodial wallet?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there again. I want to just clarify that the non-custodial wallet is going to be a separate app that you download. And we will start with something simple, covering major coins, and then gradually add functionality around DeFi. It's a high priority project for us, and we've been working on this for a few quarters, so we're almost there. You should expect the release within Q2 as well.
Sounds like a busy Q2. Speaking of developments and stuff, I'm going to shift to the exchange and talk about that. The roadmap in terms of margin trading and then further products like derivatives, how's that looking?
Yeah, so we are still in beta for our exchange. Our plan is to first release a new version of matching engine that we are building. So we have a high performance matching engine before we add margin trading and lending. So it's coming soon. I would say probably April. That's about to go into a testing phase. So we've spent pretty much the entire Q1 working on this. So you should be able to see very first like MVP type functionality in April on the exchange.
Sounds great. A question coming out. It's both app and exchange related to withdrawals, reduction of the minimums there, as well as the trading minimums. Any update on that?
So our approach was to just release the most important convert to dust feature. So people are using it a lot. So it relieves you a little bit of the pain of having high minimum trade sizes. The next step is to go to like 1 cent on the size of the trade in the app, right? So we're working on this. Again, we actually kind of deprioritized this and decided to go with the MCO and CR dust conversion first because it provides more value to the users and it was faster to ship. We didn't forget about it. We will deploy it in due course. Our trading engine actually already supports this. We just need to make sure that it's properly QA'd on the app side.
Great. Developments for the exchange, also new markets or more markets. The latest on US developments?
Yeah, that's again, we're doing this in it's a complex process because we need to apply for money transmitter licenses for a lot of states. So it's a complex process, but I would assume that we should be able to make the exchange available to US users at some point in May. That's our current best estimate.
Great, May. Why is the exchange not listed on CoinMarketCap? So
it's actually, we drive a lot of traffic from CoinMarketCap to our platform without it. And if you look at the top 20 exchanges, you probably only heard about 1 or 2. So they have a real problem over there, and we kind of see no point in doing this. And if you're interested in our current liquidity, depth, of the books and spread and volumes, just go to our exchange and check it out. It's improving every week, and we're committed to onboarding more institutions over the next months and years to make sure we've got the deepest liquidity and lowest spreads in the market. We don't want to play the same game as all the other exchanges that started, just making up some volume numbers, drive traffic to be placed high on this ranking. It's all virtual reality, and it's not how we run the business.
Gotcha. Just a quick note for folks on the meetup. If you have a question, please put it in the Q&A area, not just the chat area. We're working them through there. Okay. Next up was just going back to exchange dust conversion. We have it for the app. Are we going to add it for the exchange?
Yeah, again, those two are separate products. We'll add it to the exchange as well. It's again, it's a function of when. As we are building the entire ecosystem, right? It's the prioritization is always on the stuff that delivers the biggest value for the customers, right? So sometimes we just need to be a little bit more patient.
Sounds good. One big announcement yesterday was with regards to BitGo and insurance. And insurance is a key thing for a lot of our customers. Can you give us an update on insurance and how that functions again?
Yeah, we try to have a redundancy in all aspects of the business. So we have 2 cold storage providers. They're the leading providers in the market. One is BitGo, one is Ledger, with their Vault solution. They both have insurance coverage, and we are working on a separate insurance policy that is covering Crypto.com specifically. So altogether, if we add these policies, we should have the largest coverage of any company in the market. But as I mentioned during the previous AMAs, one should understand that these type of policies that are currently underwritten, and it's across the globe, affects all cryptocurrency players. They only work for very specific scenarios, like there's loss of keys, theft or like some malfeasance within the existing setup, and that's where you get the payout. So we do not really expect this insurance to be used in any shape or form anytime soon. It gives people some sort of higher level of confidence. I think you should be more looking at things like our cybersecurity certifications. We are leading the way on this front to keep your funds secure. You should be looking at things like, in terms of the company, the growth, what kind of licenses are we getting, what's the team like, and that is more important, and it should be given a higher score if we are reviewing different providers than the size of their insurance policies. Now, insurance companies, generally speaking, are in the business of collecting money and not paying it out, right? So we have
hey,
to...
I used to work for an insurance company.
Yeah, so you should know it better than me. But we are doing this because it's expected of us, and we'll have the largest coverage of any firm pretty soon. But again, do your own research, right, and understand the entire setup of the company and how we keep your funds secure, rather than just relying on an insurance number.
Sounds good. Another one for the U.S. Viewers. Tax season was due to be April 15th and has been pushed back to July 15th. But tax reporting in crypto has become quite a significant issue. Can you talk about our thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're partnering with 3 solution providers that deal with this problem specifically, and it's a complex thing to deal with. I mean, the sad truth is that you cannot avoid neither debt nor taxes, right? So you might as well just make the latter slightly more seamless and less painful, right? So we will announce it pretty soon who we're working with, and they provide very easy ways to import your Crypto.com data in a compliant way, so you can generate all the reports that you may need and submit your taxes on time. It's at some point we'll probably consider making an acquisition in this space, depending on who's got the best product and whatnot. But it's just too complex for us to build.
Gotcha. Well, another one that had been on our roadmap for a while, the Moon Stopover. Any updates on the Moon Stopover?
Yeah. I'm of the view that this is probably not the right moment for Moon Stopover announcements, given where the market is. Yeah. So we're still working on this, and we're putting all the infrastructure in place that is necessary for us to make the announcement that we have in mind. So cool. Please watch us patiently. We didn't forget about it, and it'll come out eventually at the right moment.
As Moon Stopover sounds like some marketing spiel. How about a marketing update? When is time for Plan B going to be everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have to look at what's happening around the world, right? I mean, running billboard advertising these days is not particularly effective when everybody's staying at home and playing video games and sitting on Zoom. So we need to adjust our strategy, and we've got some pretty cool ideas. And some of it you're going to see as early as April on how to grow our user base. I mean, this is a tough time for everybody, but opportunity tends to lie right in the middle of difficulty, and that's the way we try to think about what's happening right now around the world. And people's behaviors have changed dramatically. What do we do in order to help them, and we'll grow the platform in the process. Right? This is the simplest way to talk about it, and you will see a lot of this stuff coming out very soon. We've actually done some stuff already. We released, the double cashback on Crypto.com Pay, where when you've got, Mariana mentioned this, when you've got like grocery shopping, you can buy a gift card from a well-known supermarket and just get 10% off, 5% off, 20% off. This is the kind of thing that we like to do because it ties into the the current situation. It helps people out, and it allows us to educate the users on how to actually use our product and get value out of it. So this is what we like to do, and we will continue to do this just on a bigger scale.
So, Chris, we're going to transition to a little bit of a lightning round. These are going to be the questions that the folks who have used the Q&A function, we'll try to get it through a number of them, but we're going to go as quickly as we can. But let's see how we're doing. Sure. Is the monthly growth rate still around 20% for app users?
So it varies month to month, but it's still in double digits. And on some KPIs, it's much more than that. And on users specifically, it's still in double digits. So we're very happy with the growth rate because we've announced, I think, 1 million users in September last year. So it's been a massive growth since then. We'll probably announce the next milestone, either 3 million or 5 million. We'll see how it goes. But it's the platform is going very nicely. We're very happy with how the business is performing, especially in Q1. I mean, every month is a record month for us. So I'm very, very, very pleased with how it's working. And it's quite funny because, as a founder, my style is always, let's push out the next feature that is going to completely change the world and conquer the market and whatnot. This is kind of my style. But what I've seen over the last 12 months is that these tiny incremental improvements, they add to something really incredible because they improve the product so dramatically. If you had 100 things that individually don't make a difference, but collectively it makes the whole platform much more useful, and this kind of growth is robust and sustainable. So I'm quite happy with where we are.
All right, I'll just remind you, it's the lightning round.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Meaning a shorter answer there, please.
Okay. I'm going to go for under 10 seconds.
Yeah,
under
no,
10
don't have to be that short. But hey, just a quick one. The syndicate, how has the syndicate been going in your perception? What's the intention in terms of number of syndicate events coming forward?
Yeah, I think right now the kind of cadence of doing 1 every 2 weeks works. We want to be more creative with different types of trading competitions in between, see what we can come up that makes sense for the users and the platform. So far, it's been great. I mean, we've got almost 3,000 people participating now in syndicate events. By comparison, the largest platforms in the market, like Binance, if they run something like this, they usually have 20,000 people participating, right? We just started this, right? So we'll just continue running these, and hopefully we get to like 10,000 participants at some point this year. And as the numbers grow, we'll have to play with the mechanics a little bit, so to make sure that this whole thing makes sense for our users, right? So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it goes so far.
All right, thanks, Chris. That's the lightning round. Let's keep going. A quick, I'll try to make this almost a yes or no. Are we going to add ETH pairs to the exchange?
Unlikely.
Okay. Are we going to be able to have earn in the non-custodial wallet?
That's a DeFi product. There's going to be slight differences there. And I'm sure you guys have seen the challenges of DeFi platforms over the last few weeks when the market dropped and there were people trying to abuse the systems and finding ways to benefit from it. So this is a complex problem. We will attempt to provide as much value as we can with while giving you full control of your keys, but not everything will be possible.
Yeah, and then with that DeFi, we had talked about it in Singapore at the meetup there, but I don't think everyone had heard it. Can you kind of give the top line of the DeFi card concept?
Oh, it's actually quite simple, right? So you have a non-custodial wallet, and you connect your card to it, and then when you need to spend on the card, you just move funds from non-custodial to the card and spend it. So you've got kind of the best of both worlds.
Yep, sounds good. Some folks had seen the dev update number 8 for the Crypto.com chain. Just wanting to get your sense of that, as well as any updates and progress towards release of the mainnet.
Yeah, so mainnet is an important goal for this year. So you can see we've got 8 updates. The team is working constantly on building all the technology that we need to go live. From this update, I think the most important thing is that we are giving people a sense of how we think about incentives for people who run the node once we go to the mainnet stage. So you could see that the curve is it's a different approach comparing to Bitcoin, where every few years you've got the halving, and there's this drop off which creates reduction in supply coming to the market. In our case, the way we approach this is we smooth the curve a little bit. So it's much more predictable for people who run the node to understand what's their ROI going to be. What's the cost for running the node every month, and then how much they need to stake and what kind of ROI they're getting. And we also made it clear that running the node is going to be more attractive in terms of ROI than simply parking your money in the earn function on the platform.
Sounds good. I think that's going to draw it to a close in terms of the lightning round and the questions. We are 1 hour into it, and I think we should keep ourselves relatively to that. Before we get your closing remarks, Chris, just want to shout out to everybody to say thank you all for participating. Our community, all the input, the feedback, the kicks, the smiles, everything does make us a better company. Some folks have missed some of the things that happened earlier. We will do our best to provide a transcript in short order, but we will also be picking the 5 winners that will be getting $100 in MCO. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to play with Telegram or anything like that. We'll pick 5 winners and announce those and make sure that you're aware of it. Really appreciate everybody. If you haven't joined our Telegram channel, please do. If you're not following us on Twitter, please do. All of our social media channels, very important. I'll give a shout out to the Discord folks as well if you want to have some fun with the team there. Chris, do you want to give us kind of your final closing remarks and a sense of the road ahead during these difficult times?
Yeah, so first of all, again, thank you for joining. I didn't expect almost 700 people to join this. So I think that's a great outcome. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We will try to learn from this experiment and make sure that it runs more smoothly next time. We'll also appreciate any feedback from you guys. What can we do to make those punchy and faster and more interactive? But my general few words for you is this. Look at this, what's happening around us as an opportunity, because definitely it's a once-in-a-decade opportunity to acquire some assets at a super depressed prices, right? So plan for it and be ready where the markets hit the bottom to pull the trigger. That's one piece of advice. Second piece of advice is try not to get into this doom and gloom scenario, because once you turn on the TV, you think it's the end of the world. It is not. We will go through it. The governments are reacting very strongly, which is good. You want this kind of overreaction. You want people to stay at home. You want people to stay safe and stop spreading this around. But make no mistake, there's thousands of researchers around the world working 24/7 on finding a solution, a vaccine or a way to treat this so that it stops being a global lockdown, right? And I have a personal view that is perhaps too optimistic. I think that the bottom is going to hit in at some point in Q2. By Q3, we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then at least we can all go back to work and hopefully, get back to a normal living where we, try to avoid the recession, right? Try to keep this perspective. We're going to get through this. And last, we are very, very thankful for your support as Crypto.com. I mean, the platform has been growing tremendously. And, one thing that gives me great comfort is that I look at the price action with institutional traders being liquidated on BitMEX a week ago. And a lot of firms in the industry losing their shirts. But at the same time, I can see this huge inflow of fiat on the platform. People are buying the dip with full confidence, knowing and understanding that Bitcoin was made for this. That this is the moment where cryptocurrency should shine, right? So the confidence on the institutional side is definitely not there. It's a complete risk-off environment, but true hodlers understand that that's an opportunity here, and that makes me feel pretty good about what we do. So again, stay at home, stay safe, and we're looking forward to catching up with you again through one of those virtual meetups very soon. Take good care.
Thanks so much, Chris. Once again, anybody needs to, we'd really encourage you to continue the conversation with us. If you're having questions about our app or any of those type of things, our mods and ambassadors and the community is ready there to help you. Obviously, support's there, but also take a moment and go to help.crypto.com. We've got a very extensive library of questions that can give you a walkthrough almost everything. There's a whole set of new videos coming as well. So we hope to make that as smooth as possible. Everybody who's receiving their cards in the UK, we'd love to see some pictures of them. And as we roll into the EU, as soon as humanly possible, we'd love to see you guys sharing them as well. With that, anything else, Chris?
Nope. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, well, thank you much, everybody. We are
Thanks, guys.
at 6 minutes overtime. Thank you so much.
Take care. Cheers.